And a boom. There it goes. It should be starting, which means it should be coming up online any second here. There it goes. Okay, I can see it at least. That is a good sign. I'm just double checking on my other screen here to make sure that it's popping up correctly. That is a good sign. Cool, audio came through. Sweet. I'm just testing really quick to make sure I can hear audio, which I can. That was a big issue last time when I did my little test stream. Okay. And now all we gotta do is just wait for some people to come. And also figure out how to share this. Dun, 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 dun. I'm actually really not quite sure how to share this to other people. This will be interesting. Bear with me in the beginning here. It's definitely, if you couldn't tell, the first time doing this, so we're working on it. We are working on it here. But so this is the post I put up on Reddit, on the subreddit here, just talking about well, you know, doing critiquing channels, mainly on the filmmaking, so like video, audio, editing, stuff of that nature. That is what I would like to do. So okay, here we go. Here is where I can share the link. Wonderful. Sorry for the very slow start here. Link has been sent. All right, there it goes. It is officially on its way. Yeah, so all we gotta do is just wait for somebody to pop in, say hello, and maybe we can get some channel critique started. Also, sorry about the slight cough. I'm not sick, but I've had this like little tickle in my throat the past few days. It's kind of obnoxious. Hi, hello. I don't know how much of the lag there is, but hello. Welcome to the stream, Office Park. Nice to have you here. Are you the person I just sent a link to over Discord? I'm assuming so, but you know, I never want to assume too much. But hi. Yeah, I'm just waiting for something to come in, for a video to come in somewhere so I can look at it. Yes, okay, I figured. I'm like, that would be really weird if you came in randomly right as I sent a link to somebody. But yeah, if you have a link or something, just send the link over and I can take a look at it. Kind of like I was saying, I want to sort of focus on like the video, audio, editing, thumbnails, that sort of thing, 'cause that's more of my expertise. But alright, check it out. If it's on your channel, I just gotta figure out how to get to your channel. It's like two separate computers here. Let me do this. Let's open up a new tab here. Just go to YouTube. Get that all pulled up here. And your channel is, oh gosh, it's Office Park. Is it still streaming? Actually, I cannot tell. Oh, sweet, I found it. Let me know if the stream is still up. It should be, hopefully, but just in case. It says that the stream health is not very good. So there might be some buffering and stuff. But okay, you sent the link, but I also found your channel here. Office Park Movie Russian Spy. Let's take a look. See what we're dealing with here.
This show may contain nudity, violence, coarse language, terrible impersonations, and dolls. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Mr. Savage, there's a Sergei Skripal on the phone for you.
Oh, really? Yes. Shut the door, please. I need to take this.
Hi, Mr. Skripal. How can I help you? I assure you, I'm doing everything I can to get the money. I just don't have it right now. A tape? What do you mean a tape? How did you get a hold of that? Okay. Give me 2 weeks. I'll get you the money. I won't disappoint.
Mr. Savage, are you okay?
Were you listening to my phone call, Lily?
No, I would never. You just look more pale than usual.
I'm fine. I'm definitely not freaking out.
I never said you were.
I think there are some reports I need you to work on, Lily. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Are you sure, Mr. Savage?
Yes, now get back to work. I'm so screwed. Will, you don't happen to have $50 million, do you?
What? No? Why?
No reason. I just want to make sure that I still have more than you.
You barely pay me anything. Why would I have anywhere close to what you have?
I don't know. Maybe you had ambition or something, and were trying to do something on the side, make something of yourself?
No, I have Netflix.
What about you, Lee?
Ha! No, Mr. Savage, I'm in the same boat as Will.
Jesus Christ, you two are so useless. Why don't you have more money? I need it.
We would if you paid us more.
It's not my job to pay you.
Actually it is. We work for you.
Look, do you have any money or not?
No!
God damn it, I'm screwed.
What are you crying for?
I owe money to some Russian oligarchs, and they've sent an ex-Russian spy after me.
Wow, are you being serious?
Yes, and if I can't come up with it, they're going to ruin me and kill the people I care about, which luckily for everyone else is no one.
We can call the authorities. They will protect you.
You don't understand, Lee. They have people everywhere. Even under a protection program, they'll find a way for me to stab myself in the back 23 times and then shoot myself in the back of the head 5 times.
Well, Mr. Savage, I can't say I feel bad for you. You've been nothing but terrible to us.
Please, I have no one. I'm begging you. If you help me, I'll readjust your salary band.
It's not all about the money, and besides, where would we even start to help you?
Well, like guns, the only way to beat a spy is another spy. Will you be my spies, Lee and Will?
What? No, that's retarded. We have no experience in spying.
Well, we did read your sister's diary once.
That's a different kind of spying, you dolt.
It's good enough for me. You're hired.
What are you going to pay us?
I have to pay you for this?
Isn't your life worth it?
God, I'm so conflicted.
$50,000 each, and we'll help you. As long as we can stay safe.
You're breaking my wallet, Will. Fine, I guess it's better than 50 million. I can't promise you'll stay safe, though.
Then I'm out. I'm not dying for you.
We could really use this money, Lee. I'll keep you safe, and besides, you're always talking about how we need to be more adventurous.
I was talking about in bed, not chasing ex-Russian spies.
Come on, Lee. Do it for us, not for Mr. Savage.
Fine, but only because I love you, Will.
Great. Meet me here early tomorrow morning. We'll devise a counter-espionage plan. Hello, team. Last night, I came up with a plan to deal with this little problem I'm having. Sergei Skripal, as he...
So I'll start with there just so I can kind of give my thoughts on it and everything. Thought it was an interesting concept. Yeah, I haven't seen something quite like, like a stop motion mixed with, like real backgrounds. I've usually seen it in like native backgrounds. So I think it's definitely an interesting concept. I I think there's a few here. Let me see if I can scrub around here. There's a few of them where, like, I remember this one. I mean, you can definitely see that it's obviously they don't like belong in that scene. I would look at maybe, because I'm guessing you're using like a green screen or something like that, is my guess. I would look at maybe just doing like some color correction on the actual, like on the dolls to make it look like, you know, kind of darken it a little bit, lower the highlights, things like that, to kind of make it look like they're a little more seamless inside the shots. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect, but it could be worth trying to just do a little bit of color correction to make it kind of look like they fit a little more. What was the other thing? There was this one right here. This shot, I remember.
I don't know.
That he's just kind of like, he's like floating around. I don't know if that was an intentional thing or if he was just moving like during the shot or something like that. It looks a little weird only because he's standing still, but in the screen he's
or something, and we're trying to do
kind of like floating back and forth a little bit. So that one looks a little bit unnatural. I think probably the main other thing though that might be harder for people like to stick around with is just the pacing of it. Intentionally trying to make look. Yeah, I was like, I think you have like the movement on the mouth and everything that works, but when he's moving, in this scene, but then he is
Will
totally like stationary in this scene, they don't match a little bit, so that makes it a little bit harder. And yeah, I totally get it. I do, experimenting, trying different things, and all my stuff. That was just something I noticed, that they don't match too much. If you were gonna do it, I would do it like a little more intentional, and then do it the whole time. Like if you wanted to try really moving, like actually having them like move and like shake back and forth or up and down when they're talking, so it's like really visible movement, and then keep that same thing in the like the single shots with them too, and have them like actually move like more up and down or more side to side. Because when it's just a general sway this one, it just kind of seems more like a floating handheld camera, which just doesn't, I wouldn't say fits too well with what you're doing. So I'd say, either keep it stationary or maybe kind of move it around a little bit more. It might make it a little bit easier to see who's talking and to kind of direct their eye and everything. Yeah, I think I would also just work on the pacing, kind of speeding it up a little bit, since you don't really have a lot of moving aspects at one time. You're just kind of going from, obviously the nature of it is you're going from like stationary shot to stationary shot. So I would probably look on maybe like speeding up the dialogue a little bit and kind of getting to the points a little bit faster, just so it kind of keeps that attention with people. And then, having like the shots shift a little more quickly. Those would be my kind of things here. Let me see here. Here, I'll shift over to here because you were saying that it gets like more exciting. You said like the second half or something. Yeah, I always say that like the first, 5, 10, 30 seconds or so are like the most important, because that's really where people are going to decide if they want to stay or if not, or if they don't. So like if we go to the beginning here,
this show may contain nudity, violence, coarse language, terrible impersonations, and dolls. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
So like that beginning, I thought that was pretty funny, because it's like starts with the standard stuff and then just gets sillier and sillier with like the terrible impersonation, dolls, stuff like that. So I feel like that was a good kind of intro. But then like as it goes, you can kind of see what the feeling is going to be pretty quickly. But then I think it just kind of draws out for a little while. But here, let me kind of skip ahead a little bit here and see what you're talking about here.
Lee, what are you wearing?
I thought I'd look good while vacationing in England.
You aren't on vacation.
But you had us log vacation time.
There he is. Get down.
Okay, Mr. Savage, what's the plan?
We're gonna see if you two have what it takes. What I want you guys to do is go over there. Lee, you distract him. Will, you steal his briefcase. That's your cunning plan? Do you have a better idea?
I don't know, Will. Maybe a simple plan is best.
Except I know you get all weird when you're trying to be sneaky or dishonest.
I know, right? Maybe we should switch roles.
Yeah, I don't know. If you get caught, I'd hate to see you in trouble, or worse.
So what do you want to do?
Let's just do it Mr. Savage's way.
Oh, hey there. I'm new around here, and I was just thinking that maybe you could help me. Look for some shoes?
Who are you? What do you want?
Oh, nothing. I'm just a tourist, and I'm looking for stuff to do. Is that your wife?
No, that's my daughter. We are enjoying a meal. Please, go away.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Lee, you gotta distract him more than that.
Fine. We'll do it naked. That should distract him.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I got a body like a Barbie doll.
Okay, let's do this then.
Hello again.
What the fuck? You are a naked crazy lady.
Yoink!
Oh my god, Will. I didn't mean you should
Hey,
be naked too.
Stop that, man.
Ah!
Get back here. I've got you. Who are you? Who sent you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Enough of the games. I should just kill you right now.
Yoink! Oh my god, Yulia, no! Mr. Savage, come on, let's get out of here. I got it. I did it, Will. No thanks to you. Why did I even pay you for this? Jesus, is this the time for this? Let's get out of here before we're killed.
The government has concluded that it is highly likely that Russia was responsible for the act against Sergei and Yulia Skripal.
Wealth of information on a series of possible meetings. It's the PP tape. It talks about the PP tape. Yeah. Alleged.
Not just Russia, all over. Does anyone really believe that story? I'm also very much of a germaphobe, by the way. Believe me.
Thank God they don't suspect me for anything. Oh well, time for my 10-minute lunch.
I'm sure Mr. Savage will ask me to back this up for him. I might as well do it now.
Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me.
What, partner?
I risked my life for this? All this time, everyone thought it was Trump. It was really Mr. Savage.
What the heck are you talking about?
Go look in our shared backups.
If only Obama knew. I want to roll in it. Okay, now pee on me.
Unbelievable! We hope you enjoy.
Well, I think you're right. The second half definitely does pick up a little bit. Yeah, you kind of had some more shot variety. Like, wait, what was the one I was looking at? It was, yeah, like right here. Yeah, you had some different things moving around. And then right here, this is the first time we've seen, a different shot besides like just looking to the side and looking up. And you had like the sun kind of fade in and everything. So I think that was good. A nice little change of pace. I would say try to keep it more like that throughout it. You threw in like the little jokes and everything like that. I would say to try to keep that energy more upbeat from the beginning. Just because, the first half was definitely slower than the second half. But if you want to get people to stick around, you probably want the first half to be faster than the second half. I mean, ideally, you want it to be all quicker and more engaging because, you know, people who watch videos nowadays have no time, so they click off on anything. So I would just work on getting the first half a little bit more engaging and faster paced, and then definitely keep experimenting with different camera angles like this, because you know, when you only have so many options with like backgrounds and stuff like that, it definitely kind of makes a difference to have like a different variety in the shots. So I would definitely work on kind of adding more different things like this. You know, like if you found ways like where they're trying to answer the phone and then you cut to like a close-up of like a hand going towards a phone or something like that, like different things to kind of like spice it up and keep the scene moving, I think that would definitely help kind of keep the pacing and keep the retention longer. But overall, it's an interesting concept that I haven't seen before, and I think it was, you know, if you kind of have like these little clips and everything from real life, like from the TV, like kind of interspersing those on computer screens and phone screens that they're looking at or something, you know, like doing stuff like that, I think that could be an interesting take to kind of have like a comedic aspect on, you know, like politics and things like that. So definitely interesting concept. Yeah, so I think the storytelling is just a little bit slow at points. Yeah, and taking time to introduce the plot. It's definitely, it takes a while, and that's, I mean, you know, you can even look at like movies out in theaters, and there are people who don't introduce plots really well, and then there's people who introduce plots really, really well. I'm trying to think of specific examples. Let me see.
Really? Yes. Shut the door, please. I need to take this.
Hi, Mr. Scripple. How can I help you? I assure you, I'm doing everything I can to get the money. I just don't have it right now.
Yeah, I can't think of something off the top of my head right now, but I would say try to look at like actually like movies like in this genre, you know, like spy movies or things like that, and see, kind of like take notes on how they start their films, like, you know, like James Bond sort of things, or even I can almost see it kind of being like an Archer kind of style, you know. So I would say like watch things like that and just take notes on how they set up everything. Let's see. Yeah, it's all pictures. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if that looked weird. Yeah, all the stop motion and everything. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the main way to do things like that. Yeah, I would say look at popular movies and see how they are setting up plots and storylines, and then find more ways to do different camera angles like this one that kind of like set it apart from the same like static shots and everything like that. Just because, you know, if you ever watch a movie, like the cameras are moving, people are moving, kind of helps you like stay involved. That's just a hard thing with stop motion, and like especially this type, that you could fall into the trap of having too many static shots. So maybe look at what like moving shots would be, like panning across the picture and having the character look like they're moving and like walking, things like that. Having things kind of moving around might make it a little bit easier. Also, I think I just had another response. I'm gonna take a look here. I might have another video. Let's see. Yeah, I would take a look at that. I'm going to pull up this person here. Okay. Yeah, it'll definitely come with time. You know, it's just gonna be making videos, practicing everything. Like here, if I went to the channel here, let me see if this is all of them. So you have 5 videos. So yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a matter of like, imagine how much better your 50th video is gonna be, or your 100th video is gonna be. I think it's gonna have a lot more. You're gonna learn so much doing everything. So it's just a matter of kind of practicing and doing more. Oh, this is the first one doing stop motion. Interesting. Yeah, so I was just saying, kind of keep practicing, keep going at it. I'm gonna bring up these ones because this is the next one that somebody just sent. So I'm gonna get that started here. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to start it yet. I want to wait for them to come into the chat so that they can see when I'm here giving the feedback. Let's see what's Alright, sorry, I was just responding to somebody. Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on my very first live stream doing this. I think, you know, same with me. I'm still learning how to do this stuff and trying to figure out the best way to get this setup going. It's kind of weird, like going from Reddit and Discord, but I can't post links anywhere, so it's like PMing people. So it's a little interesting, but thanks for coming and being the first person to come through. So that's exciting. Now we just gotta wait for Mr. Coffee Stuff here to come in. Here, let's look at his channel while we wait for him to come in, because he sent the videos on here.
Are we doing this?
I will try.
Yeah, it is a little interesting, to say the least. Trying to figure out how to, you know, like promote and discuss and everything, but with no links. But I think it's because there's so much spam going on as well, so it's just easier to say no links and to moderate what links do what. Yeah, but I think we're definitely moving in the right direction in terms of the health of the subreddit and everything. Okay, let me see here. I sent him the link, but he's not coming in yet, so we're just gonna critique his channel while we wait for him. So I don't want to actually watch the video until he gets here. So we're just gonna take a look here and see what we're looking at. Let's see, what does the about page say? What is this channel about here? Okay. There's no real about section going on. That's okay. So it looks like we have, I'm guessing, clips from anime, and we got Overwatch. We have some top 10 lists. Oh, hey, how's it going? You're here. I didn't want to start watching the video until you got here, so welcome to the stream. There's not a lot of people here, but that's okay. But yeah, Office Park, I think definitely just keep at it. Keep making a lot of videos, keep learning stuff, and then you know, if you keep making consistent stuff, we'll see where it ends up being in like 6 months, a year. So I think it'd be really cool. Also, Slasical, hello. All right, so yeah, no problem. Coffee stuff. Let's see. What was the video you wanted to watch again? This one. Okay. So I'm just going to watch some of it and see what we're looking at here.
Taku, 本当ならダメじゃと言いたいところだが。仕方ない。楽死だ。罪魂。
まさかこれも女神の琥珀？大きい。メリオダス殿の力がここに。
入れるのに随分苦労したぞい。他のものは下がっておれ。ではやるぞメリオダス。オス。セハロ、ジケハロ、バトレシポ。
なんだ、急に夜になった。
夜の闇ではない。琥珀から解き放たれたメリオダスの力じゃ。カリオデライシ、タフタミヤビオ、モンドラ。
間違いないやつだ。これだ。我が力確かに返してもらったぞ。メリオダス、これやばい雰囲気じゃねえ。なんつってよかった。つうか今までと何ら変わってねえじゃん。本当に今までと同じと思うのか。
マリー、俺を実家の元に飛ばせるか。
できないことはないが。
正気ですか。敵陣真っ只中に乗り込むなんて自殺行為です。
可能なんだな。
ただし一度転送すると再びここへ転送するまでにわずかな。
I'll stop here just so I can kind of give feedback and everything, but I actually think this is a really interesting concept. I will admit I have not watched a lot of anime or manga. I've watched a little bit, but not too much. But it is definitely a really interesting concept, comparing the anime and the manga and seeing, like, it's actually surprising how true to form it really is. You know, like looking at some of these clips and everything, like I see the clip from the anime and then go to the manga, it's like almost the exact same thing. Like, I didn't know that personally, and how like a lot of the dialogue is super similar and everything. So I actually thought that was a cool concept. And let me see if I can actually find one of the ones that you put in. Where was it? There's so many things. But just how you animated some of the slides. And you had like the difference, like the anime switching to the manga in the middle and kind of almost making the screen look like a manga at some parts. I thought that was a pretty interesting idea. Definitely a nice little mix between the two. Like Slothsicle, sorry, that's hard. That's a tongue twister to say. I definitely don't know what the copyright would be looking like on something like this. Just because I don't have a lot of familiarity with that sort of thing. My guess is that you could potentially run into issues. Sickle. Okay, I'm going to say that because I love sloths, but they're just a hard word for me to say. One thing you could probably try to do that may make it easier is, and I don't know if this is something you want to do, is like, you know, have some of these clips and do that sort of animation in comparison, but then maybe like take out the audio and talk over it and kind of give your feedback on it, because I think that falls under like fair use if you're talking about it and giving your own thoughts and reviews on it. And it'd be interesting because sorry, I have a slight cough. While it's like interesting to see the comparison, it'd also be cool to like maybe hear some backstory on like when the manga came out, when the anime came out, maybe some history on that stuff. Like, could be a different little take on it as well. And that might give you more leeway with the copyrights and everything. Yeah, that would, I think, be your only issue, because I personally, I like the concept and everything. I think it's cool, and maybe if I find, you know, good anime or something, and then you build up a really big repertoire, like I could just come here and start watching some stuff and be kind of cool and different to try that stuff. Yeah, definitely when you're small it won't be a big issue, but when you're larger it could run into some hiccups here and there. But yeah, I think I like the concept, and I think you do a good job of animating it and keeping it interesting, and not like, you know, just split left and right or something. Like, you kind of have a lot of different things going on. So very cool concept, I'd say. Now I'm gonna go back because I knew you had a second one. Oh, literally right as I was saying, hey, it'd be cool if you had a commentary, and I see that your second one is a commentary. Okay, let me close this out.
What's up, guys? This is a...
Alright, so I'll watch a little bit of this one, and kind of see now, based on what I was just saying about the commentary, how this one goes. And then Sickle, I can check out your channel next if you want, because you're the next person to respond.
Top 10 Slayer Magic and Fairy Tail. Special thanks to the Fairy Tail subreddit community for participating again. Don't worry, a few more times and I'm done. This is my redemption video. Since the first received mixed reception from both the Reddit and YouTube community, it can either be the reason that it's a sad weeby topic or that is a trash video, just like me. Some were surprised. Some were brutally honest, and some were still ... Sorry, I will not be covering the dual element forms, since one needs to blend two Slayer magic to take form, and God Serena's drying Slayer magic due to the lack of techniques shown in the series, which sucks because he had earth and water drying Slayer magic in his arsenal, and there were 4 unknown ones. Sad days. Number 10. The Lightning God Slayer with 1 vote. The Black Lightning is mostly used for pure offensive and destructive purposes, possessing monstrous amount of voltage to vaporize solid matter and defeat individuals with large eye-catching techniques like a Black Lightning Spear that enshrouds an individual and black electricity, a concentrated beam with wild branching electrical discharges, and directing for maximum magical output to cast vast destruction, cladding one's arm in black electricity to discharge Lightning God's charged particle cannon. Number 10. The Fire God Slayer with 1 vote. The Black Flames of God.
Wait a second. Did you say number 10 twice? Or am I just going crazy? Also, because I mean, I'll stop there too, because I kind of got a feel for it. But I think this is cool too. It's in the same vein of, you know, what you're doing before with anime and everything, but giving your own commentary, which is, like I said, something I thought would be cool to add in. You know, I think you do a good job of like switching between different scenes, and like in the beginning when you're bringing in like comments and like anime like relating to what you were feeling or things like that. Okay, there are 2 number 10s. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't just imagining that, but I do think it was it's an interesting concept and everything. And going back to the first one, I would say just keep on making the mix between the anime and the mangas, and because I think it's cool. And yeah, you wouldn't want to disrupt the flow too much. I would say just keep making them, and then if YouTube starts to get on you about saying that it's copyright or things like that, then maybe take it from there. But if you're not getting any like strikes or emails or anything, I would just keep doing with it because I think it's a cool concept. In terms of the video and everything, I think the few things I noticed, and I can say this because these are things I struggle with as well. I'm very soft-spoken and I mumble. So I'm already, even in the stream, trying a lot harder not to mumble than I usually do, but it's still, I'm not as well wordy vocally as some people are. I think sometimes I notice there's like a few words that slur together, things like that. Something I do too, and I'm trying to work on. I think it's just kind of a constant thing for people who don't, maybe like talk all the time, things like that. And then I would say in the future, I would definitely work on. Sorry, now I'm talking about talking, and I start stuttering and mumbling. I would work on saving up for like a new mic or something. I think that the mic is definitely a lot better than a lot of people that I'll see. But you can kind of tell, like, if you listen to this versus somebody who has like those really expensive microphones, that there is definitely a difference in how it picks up your voice. So I would say, like, if you are like putting any money into this or something, that's probably the first thing I would try to save for, would be a higher quality microphone, especially when you have these commentaries that focus solely on your voice. Because I think, how you're talking and everything, I think that's pretty fine. I would just try to see if you could up the quality of the audio. One thing you could do to kind of help with that in the meantime, because I know that mics are expensive and who has money these days anyway. Something that I've kind of done, I can't do it in this sense because I'm live streaming, but what you do is you get your mouth like pretty close to the microphone and then just point it off to the side a little bit so that you're not getting all those like puffs of air into the mic. So you get like really close and you try to get it as loud as you can without it clipping and sounding really bad. And what that'll do is that'll eliminate a lot of the background noise. But then what you also do, totally the cheap way of doing something, is actually, like, if you can, to put a blanket over you in the microphone, because what that'll do is that'll stop any other background noise, as well as kind of, keep the audio from your voice like confined to that area. It sounds really silly and you'll look really silly, but sometimes it can actually help you get a little bit more higher quality audio out of it, even if you don't have as nice of a microphone. So that would be something I'd try, would just be to, kind of get that recording audio a little higher. Like I said, it's not bad, but if you're looking at ways to improve, I think that's definitely one to work on. It's just improving that audio quality and everything. But I think that the commentary is good. You have a nice like variety of clips you're working with, and like I said, like putting in the comments from other videos, things like that. I thought that was interesting. So I would just keep on doing that. Keep on making videos. I think I saw that, yeah, you have like 900 subscribers, which is awesome. So definitely you can already see that there's an audience for this sort of thing. So now it's just a matter of just making more and then trying to make it more and more professional, I'd say. Yeah, overall pretty cool. Very nice stuff. I'm going to look, Sickle, I'm going to go to your channel next and take a look. I'm going to send a few more people the links to the stream because I had some people asking for it. So let me see if I can. Did I spell this right? I'm on 2 different computers, so I can't like just immediately click over. Oh, I did. Sweet. Okay, so I won't watch something yet. I'll wait until I just send these links to a few people here. Let me see. Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on the stream and being a part of everything. Like I said, this is definitely something that I've never tried before, so I have no idea if it's cool or not. I hope it's cool. I hope people enjoy it. That would be nice. Okay, let's see. Okay. Sickle, did you have a particular video that you wanted me to watch? And oh yeah, dark theme. Why is it off? It's because I usually use my other computer. Here. I like dark theme as well. It's on my second computer that I use it all the time. This one is like my main computer I use for editing and stuff like that. So I forgot that it was off. But yeah, cool. I'm glad that this is actually cool. As silly as it sounds. Okay. Sorry, I'm just sending a link to a few people and then I will watch a video. If you have a particular one you want me to watch, just let me know. To stream. Just okay. Let's pick the one that you gravitate towards most. Alright, so pick the one with the thumbnail that's most intriguing. I will do that. Sorry, I just gotta send a link to a few more people. This is cool. It was actually people that were I want to see this, so okay. Alright, there we go. I sent links to people, so I'm just going to go to all your videos. See which one catches my attention. I would say probably gravitating towards like 1 and 2, and then this number 6 here. It's kind of the ones that my eyes are jumping towards. The main reason is because on like number 3 and number 4 here, it's kind of hard for me to read the text. Like if you look, oh, I just realized you can't see the mouse, but on number 4, like where it says untouchable, there's no like outline around that one, like the black outline, so it kind of blends in with the sky. And then on number 3 here, the untouchable is like right over a really busy scene, you know, with like the devil and Cuphead and Mugman and everything, so it kind of like conflicts with like them and seeing that. So I would say that because that like these ones are a little cleaner, like number 6, the text is all off to the side, has a nice outline, a big number on it, all that good stuff. And then number 1 and 2, you know, like they already kind of have Cuphead in there, and so it like looks a little bit more professional, things like that. So I'll watch a little bit of number 1, and then I'll watch a little bit of number 6, because then I can see a little bit of the progress from 1 to 6. I know, it's totally okay. I am still figuring out thumbnails as well. The beauty is that you can always go back and change them, and nobody would be the wiser. I've done that on all mine. I've changed my thumbnails around a few times as I like change styles and stuff. So I would say don't be afraid to change the thumbnails around if you want to. Okay, so let me watch a little bit of number 1 here, and then we'll go from there.
For lack of a better intro, my name is Slavsicle, Sickle for short, I guess, but I really wanted to do an Untouchable playthrough. So I'm gonna start off with a new file, and we're gonna get right into it. Gonna buy the smoke grenade. It's way too useful. There's no point in getting an extra hit point if I'm doing an Untouchable playthrough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this. It'll help a lot, and it's back out now. Yeah, I know how to play this game. Unlike some gaming journalists, I think I'm gonna start with a level first. It'd be easier to get more coins and then to buy the 8 shot, and then that's pretty much all I need. Wait, I just realized if I get hit, I have to restart the entire thing for levels also, because I was initially thinking about doing it only for bosses, but I figured why not do an Untouchable playthrough of everything. Okay, I thought I had to restart for a moment. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Get away from me. Oh my god. This isn't so bad. It's the first level too. I don't know why I'm shooting. Oh my god, fuck.
Oof.
I can see how the rest of the series is gonna play out.
This is giving me anxiety just watching this.
Got him. Shit. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna pause it really quick just so I can kind of talk about it and then I can look at the other one too. So really quick just to comment on what we were talking about in the comments here. Comment on the comments. Personally, I like thumbnails that are really simplistic and eye-catching more than like busy and have like a lot of text and things like that. I know that, you know, it's kind of different for different people's styles. Let me see if I can. I promise I'm not trying to plug my own thing. I'm just trying to explain what I'm thinking here. So like if you look at some of my my thumbnails, and I also do like filmmaking and photography, so it kind of makes more sense. But like a lot of them are like really simplistic. There's no really text or anything like that. It's just like pictures, but they all relate to like what it looked like. I personally like that more. I know like especially for gaming content and stuff like that, it's not as easy to do that because, you know, it's just not in the style of that content. But like that style of like really simplistic and maybe like a little bit of text, I think is always more eye-catching, and I'm more likely to click on that stuff than things that have like a bunch of text and emojis and arrows and all that stuff. But then again, that's also potentially just me. Going back to the actual video here. So I like the intro, or the anti-intro. You know, when you're saying like, for lack of a better intro, here's my intro. I totally get that. That's pretty much how I do everything, so I love it. I was definitely I was getting anxious just watching this because I have played a little bit of Cuphead and I'm terrible at it, and it makes me sad. I love it, but it makes me sad. So like watching you just try to like duck and weave and dodge around was it's making me nervous just watching. What I can see here, I think that the only thing I would say, and I think you did a good job kind of like in here, like what was it, when I'm trying to find when you died, or not when you died, but you know, when you got hit. Where was it? It was somewhere here.
What?
Yeah.
This untouchable run is gonna be.
So I like that you actually cut and you didn't like wait for the whole screen to load. You kind of just cut right back into it again. I think that's kind of important, especially if you're doing a lot of like redoing and repeating and stuff, is to not include every single bit of it. I think that's definitely important, because otherwise it would be really repetitive and people wouldn't want to stay for too long. I would say when you're in the shop, I like the idea of like explaining what you're getting and why.
Get right into it. Gonna buy the smoke grenade.
I think you just probably could have cleaned it, you know, shortened it a little bit. Talking about like getting the smoke grenade, not getting the heart. And you know, that would have taken probably like 5-10 seconds. But I feel like we kind of sat on this for a little while.
Hit point if I'm doing an untouchable playthrough. So what I'm gonna do is gonna grab this. It'll help a lot. And just back out now. Yeah. I know how to play this game.
Like I said, it's not like a huge thing. I'm just being like a nitpicky thing at this point. Sorry, I keep coughing. I apologize. But yeah, I think the other thing as well that, and this is something that I have kind of said to like other people who do like Let's Plays and commentary and things. I think that it's, you know, there is definitely an aspect to like live commentary when playing and talking about it and things like that. But I'll also say that sometimes what can happen is that the commentary isn't super like, you know, you're just talking about like what you're thinking in that moment. So there's not a lot of things happening in the commentary. And sometimes there's parts like where you go silent or things like that, which is just natural with live commentary. I think that is, you know, there is like an aspect of that that's cool. I personally kind of like it when the commentary is almost tailored a little more afterwards, like after the fact. You know, and it's kind of like a mixture of, you know, so we're watching you play and everything, and then we are, you know, you're like kind of reacting or talking about it, things like that, but then also just talking about the game as a whole, or the, you know, the Untouchable run as a whole, things like that. I think I've referenced this to a few people, like Video Game Donkey, I think does it really well, where he, you know, it's like he'll kind of shift between like talking about it like he's in the game and then talking about it just like over different clips and things like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it's kind of easier to keep the interest a little bit more, because with live commentaries, like they always work, I think, really well with the big channels, because, you know, people become so invested in the Jacksepticeye's and Markipliers and things like that. But when you do have like a smaller channel that doesn't have as many people watching it, I think that you can kind of run into some issues where it's not like captivating all the time, and there kind of are like some like lower spots. And I'd say if you want to keep the live commentary route, I would say just kind of keep practicing like talking more, and maybe even talking about like other subjects instead of just what's happening right in front of you, because we can already see that. Like we can already see if you're like just barely missing people. So kind of, you know, bring in some like topics talking about Cuphead in general, or you can even have ones talking about like about your day or your trip to the grocery store, like as you're like ducking and weaving through people, you know, and then like cutting out all like the dull moments. Those would be kind of, I'd say, the two options. I'd say is either, you know, curate the commentary afterwards, and you can even make it seem like you're there in person, but kind of like the donkey feel, you know, like where you react to it afterwards. Or if you're going to keep doing the live commentary, to work on like as you're actually recording, to be talking more and have like different topics you're talking about rather than just the game, and then also cutting out a little more of the moments in between, just because, you know, if I look like just watching you like kind of reacting to the game for 12 minutes just seems like a long time to do that. But if you're like telling different stories, or you're like curating it afterwards and making jokes, it's kind of easier to keep that retention and people will watch for longer. I would also maybe say try experimenting with that with like 4 to 5 minute long videos, because then it's like it's not as long and people don't have to feel like they're committing to a longer video. And then it'll give you more time to kind of deliver the jokes quicker, or just like work on like delivering that quicker. I have a feeling that like if you're editing this, you could probably edit the same video into 5 minutes and only keep the really, really good stuff, like the really, really funny stuff, and it'd probably keep the retention longer. And, you know, let's say if this like 12-minute video had a, I don't know, like 15% retention. I have no idea. I'm just making up numbers. I think that if you had like a 5-minute video where you just had like the very best parts, I bet you could get to like 50-60% retention. If that makes sense, which hopefully it says, you said it makes sense, so I'm assuming that works. That's just my personal thing, because I do watch a lot of playthroughs myself, and so especially with stuff like this, like I like ones that are like really like keeping my interest and everything. Yeah, nobody really, like, for instance, I just watched all of Markiplier's old Vanish playthrough, which is nice because I just kind of had it on in the background, like, while I was doing other stuff. But I did it because I like Markiplier and I like watching his stuff and his personality and everything. But if somebody else was saying, like, hey, watch my Vanish video, like, I wouldn't want to sit through and watch, like, the 6 or 7 hours that, like, Markiplier played through. I wouldn't want to watch that for somebody else unless I'm invested in them. So you have to find other ways to keep them there and keep them watching the video until they can become invested in you, and then you can do those longer playthroughs. That's my 2 cents. I saw group Tarmast, so check out your channel. I will check that out in just a second here. Let me see. I'm just checking really quickly to see if more people are posting things. Okay, I had one from Hectorito. He sent me a thing on Reddit, but I don't know if he is in the chat yet, so I don't want to watch his. But I can watch your number 6 and see if, like, what things have changed since that first video. So I always kind of like to see, like, the progression and everything. Oh, Hector. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you are here. All right. So let me just watch a little bit of this number 6 one because I said I was going to do that for Sickle, and then I'll go to watching your videos that you sent me on Reddit. So let's see. So we had 2 months ago versus a week ago. We'll see what changed.
Good day for a swell battle. You're up.
Hey, welcome back to more Cuphead. And it's your boy Sickle. We're still playing on the Untouchable playthrough. And we're up against Hitler Rat. Because he's German. Fuck! Okay, gotta restart now. Oh, that's cute. He's shooting cherry bombs.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at the chat. It's a little bit. The chat's pretty accurate for me, but I don't know how delayed it is afterwards getting to the video to you guys.
Gotta,
but yeah, I will watch yours right after this.
And otherwise, what's the point? It's like a high risk, high reward type thing, you know, when you're playing this. Gotta do maximum damage, you know. Oh shit! I thought I got hit. Ah, now I got hit. Shit. Oh, that's how you do specials. I remember how to play this game. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, Mom. Fuck. I was doing it, Mom. I was.
That was kind of funny. You're like, I'm doing it, and then you got hit right away. So watch, I can kind of get like a general sense. It's pretty similar to the first one. So you know, I feel like the critiques would be pretty similar to it. I think in the beginning. Here, let me see.
Good day for a swell battle. You're up.
Hey, welcome back to more.
So I like that you still had an intro in it. I feel like some people, when they do like longer playthroughs like that, they won't introduce themselves or what they're doing every time. The only thing I would just look at is that it was like kind of silent for like the first, I think it was like 4 seconds or so, which is not a big time, but if someone like just clicked on this one, they might click on it and then not hear your voice at all and then think, okay, so this is just like a no commentary playthrough of Cuphead, and then it's potential that people could click off right from there. So I would just I know you're kind of like starting with like the beginning of the battle, and that's the other benefit of having like the curated commentary afterwards, is that you can start at the beginning of the battle but then also start your commentary right away. But that would just be my thing, is to kind of have the commentary starting right off the bat so that people know what they're expecting, because I was worried for a second, like, is he not talking anymore? Did we only talk for the first one? So I think that would be something to look at. And then I think if we are going into like the more editing and everything, one thing I think could be fun would be to have like a really fast like compilation of, you know, you like dying and everything. You know, if you just cut together like let's say you die to this guy like 10 times, and then you like die the first time or something, die the second time, and then you cut like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth death all right after each other, and you just like see where you die and you're jumping around and everything, and you kind of like your audio like like just kind of like making it funny and having like a little counter in the corner. I saw you had it before, but it disappeared pretty quickly in the first one. But yeah, it's just kind of like finding different inventive ways to tell the same thing, because people have seen, I'm guessing if they've seen this, they've probably seen Cuphead or played Cuphead, so you have to find like a new way to tell that story. And that's that's the joy of being the creators, adding your own flair and your own touch to things. So I would just kind of look at potentially kind of editing it more, kind of making like a little bit of a story in each one a little bit, if that makes sense. Pretty much, yeah. There's not too many different things to add on from the first one, but I think that it's definitely, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'd love to see what your newer stuff looks like. And then yeah, look at I saw, this is like way back when you said keeping the thumbnails the same so you can see the progress. I like that idea. I like going to people's channels and seeing their old videos and old thumbnails and stuff. So I totally respect that. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you come out with next. So now we're jumping to Hectorito. I'm going to assume that's how I say it. I'm sorry if that's not it. I apologize. I'm terrible with names and everything. So let me refresh this here. Go in here and I'll start bringing in these videos close enough. yeah, the first 7 seconds are super important. And yeah, of course, thank you for coming and hanging out with me and sending me your videos.
For whatever reason,
I enjoy it very much. I think if people like this, I would definitely love to just keep doing this. Like, I just looked at the counter. I've been doing this for like an hour now, and it's kind of fun. Like, it's my day off. I don't have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just kind of hanging out with people, just being a part of the community. So okay, so we're jumping into it. I'm just kind of taking a look at like the description: experience in VR chat, view. All right, let's take a look, see what we got.
For whatever reason, I've always been a pretty big fan of social multiplayer games. Despite the fact that I've always been kind of quiet and reserved towards strangers in real life, I've always been pretty much the polar opposite online. Like, there was a time when I used to be really into Gmod. I'd spend hours upon hours playing Jailbreak, TTT, Roleplay, Cinema, and in pretty much every single server I joined, I'd always end up being the one that talked the most. Like, oh my god, I even remember getting a sore throat after pretty much every single play session I had. And I'd even go as far as crediting it for helping me refine my English a fair bit. But anyways, what I'm trying to get here basically is that VR chat was pretty much right up my alley in every possible way. So because of that, on December 27th, 2017, I installed VR chat.
Come over here. Come to this portal. This is the way.
To where?
This is the way.
Uganda?
Over here, just go through the portal.
You want me to go through the portal?
Yes, this is the way. I will come with you, but I need to see you go first.
Okay, sure, I'll go in. Oh, there we go. Oh, is this Uganda? Hello? Doesn't seem to be anyone here. Hello? Oh.
Fucking disgusting.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god.
Hey, don't fucking speak to my children like that.
Wait, that's your child? Wait, what the fuck? Okay. Where's the... What the fuck?
Do not offend the queen.
Wait, what? Why are you... Wait, no, don't... What the fuck? Oh god! No! Wait, I didn't mean it! No, I didn't mean it!
Brothers, you must know the way. Stop, brother.
Oh god!
Stop, brother.
Ah!
Stop.
What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Oh no! What the fuck is this? What are you doing?
Basically, the main idea behind VR chat is essentially to strip out all the game part from previous social games. Like in Gmod, there was always some sort of objective, but here it's just you and a mic and si Pisto, a VR set, which despite what the title might imply is not actually a requirement. You can still play the game with a mouse and keyboard just fine. However, I am told it enhances the experience a fair bit. You can flail your arms around, pick up stuff, draw and all that, and obviously the controls were made with VR in mind, so naturally they're kind of awkward without it. However, what I think is the best feature VR brings to the table is the body language, which easily makes any conversation a million times better.
Yasuo's where it's at, dude. The best champion in the game. Super fun.
Fuck you, dude.
What I say that to my face, dude? Wanna go? Let's go!
Look at me. Wind wall. Ha ha ha.
Dude, are you serious? Okay, Windwall is such a balanced champion, dude. It's so easy to fuck it up. It's the easiest thing in the world. You can just dash into your death. Are you seriously? Are you putting up your hand? Are you seriously doing that right now? Are you seriously doing that right now? Oh no.
But anyways, as I said before, chatting and socializing with other players is pretty much the main focus of the game. So essentially what that means is that your enjoyment of VR chat rests entirely on the other people who are playing the game with you. Partially, it's luck really. One session you might end up with a bunch of mix spammers, racists, or both.
Oh, fuck off. No, fuck off. Fuck off. Can you fuck off, Dios?
And in another, you might end up with some legitimately great people who are a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, okay, let's do something. Everybody who speaks Spanish, get in the corner. I'm curious. Get in the corner if you speak Spanish. Dude, you don't even speak Spanish. Get out of here.
Okay. Hola, amigo. My llama is Diva.
Oh shit, he speaks Spanish. He's one of us.
I'll stop with this so I can kind of give some feedback. Yeah, VR chat is such a weird game. Oh man, the stupid Knuckles meme. Yeah, I've seen videos of it. It sounds just so weird. But yeah, so I think it's interesting kind of giving a commentary and review on it over just having like footage of it, which is what I see a lot of people doing, is just having footage of it, but you kind of put in your own. Yeah, the Knuckles meme is totally dead right now. That's okay. But yeah, I think it's interesting putting in your own feedback and commentary onto it, just because I think that it's more, at least to me, it's more interesting than just watching footage of the game, because I've already seen people put footage into the game, so I'm looking to find something new, something different. Yeah, it's kind of like a hybrid of like the review and the let's play. Let me see. Let me go back to the beginning really quick, because yeah, I always feel like the first like 10 or so seconds are always like so important to videos. So let me rewatch that again.
You know, for whatever reason, I've always been a pretty big fan of social multiplayer games. Despite the fact that I've always been kind of quiet and reserved towards strangers in real life, I've always been pretty much the polar opposite online. Like, there was a time when I used to be really into Gmod. I'd spend hours upon hours playing.
Yeah. So I think that it was good that you started off with the audio, start off exactly,
you know,
given like some, oh sorry, I don't want to talk about the video, given like some premise about like who you are and everything like that. I think you probably could have shortened it a little bit, in terms of like talking about your background and like who you are and how you feel about like being talkative on online games, things like that. Just because I think it took a little bit of time to get there to see what the actual video is about. So I like the idea of it. I would just see if you can kind of shorten it down a little bit, just so that people aren't likely to like click away or something like that. So I'm just kind of scrubbing through. Yeah, because even if like in a normal conversation, like it would be totally fine to like kind of give some backstory, things like that. Kind of what I've been like seeing and learning and experiencing myself is, you know, people like when they go to like YouTube videos, it's just a very quick, like I got to know what I'm getting into like 5 seconds in, and if it's not something I enjoy, people will click off of it. So you kind of have to like make sure it's super tailored for that. So cause I like, if I'm watching it, it didn't seem like it was long or drawn out, but if I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of someone who like just found a video said like my experience in VR chat, like, oh, that's interesting. I can click and then maybe get like 15 seconds. I'm like, I don't know what he thinks about VR chat. I'm done. I'm bored. I want to go. Like, there are people out there that feel that way and that'll react that way to the videos. So I think it's just about, setting up that intro like you did about how it's interesting that you in real life you're super quiet and everything like that. I'm the same way. But then like in social video games, like you're really into it, you're talkative, stuff like that. Like I think that that's totally good and interesting, and it'd just be like telling that same story in like 5 to 10 seconds and then jumping straight into like then how you feel about VR chat. And like for instance, like this whole clip of going to Uganda with Knuckles and everything, like if I were trying to like to cut this down to really get people to get the idea really quickly, it'd be like cutting here.
This is the way.
To where?
This is the way.
Uganda?
Over here, just go through the portal.
And it's like seeing like a little bit of like that, like go through the portal, and then you kind of like walk into the portal, and then almost just like cutting right to like the craziest part.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and just like you just see it just instantly gets out of hand, because I think that it'll tell the same exact story of you got this weird guy telling you to go somewhere, you go there and oh my gosh, it's completely crazy, VR chat's crazy. You can tell that same story in like 5-10 seconds, and I think that'll keep more people involved and willing to stay longer. For someone who's not like oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this video through, like they want to see what your experience is. You have to just kind of really tell that intro really quickly to get people to stay. That would be probably my advice for that part. So like you could talk about that intro for 5 seconds, talk about that little like your VR experience in like 5 seconds, and then you just cut right to that my experience in VR chat kind of thing. It's just the intro's a little bit long. That'd be kind of my biggest critique, and I like critiquing intros just because I feel like they're so important and there's usually room for improvement on them. I know I've been trying to get better at my own intros, so I know it's something that we always have to focus on and try to get better at. One thing I noticed as well, which maybe, I don't know if this is something of like you trying to be like animated for talking in the video versus maybe just a subconscious thing. But I noticed that your voice had kind of had like the same cadence and like the same like dips and raises in your voice, like for every sentence. Which, like I said, I don't know if it's subconscious or like you trying to like kind of have like a persona or everything, but the sentences kind of sounded very similar, if that makes any sense. So I would say I would just try to, if it's something that you're like trying to do, like just kind of focus on being like a little bit more natural with how you're talking. Like if you're just talking to your friend and not trying to be like a commentator talking into a video, I think it's usually a little bit more appealing to people, at least personally. If it's something it's just like a subconscious thing, I would just kind of like try to listen to like a few of your sentences when you talk. There's this kind of same like dip and raise. Like I said, I totally know if it's subconscious, because it looks like that's what you said. Because I do the same thing. Like I mumble and I slur my words a lot, and it's totally subconscious. I don't talk to a lot of people, so I tend to slur. And I was saying earlier in the stream, like, this is already me trying a lot better to not slur my words and to not mumble, but I'm sure it's still coming across, especially when I'm not thinking about it. But I would just say that's something just to, if I'm being like nitpicky, to just to think about. And it sounds like if you already have like gotten that and you're already kind of working on that. Everybody has like weird things like that. So you're not like the only one that has it. I would just look into, I'm sure you could even find things on YouTube, like videos of like vocal coaches or things like that, because it just may be worth it if you want to have a channel that's based on commentaries and reviews and things, to kind of like make sure that your voice is really appealing and people like listening to a lot. That would be, I just slurred as I said that. That would be, I don't know, that'd be my recommendation. And then overall, I think personally, I just like the idea of like kind of shorter videos in general. So I would say, you know, I don't want to script through the whole thing because I want to watch some other things that you sent and some other people sent as well. But I would just kind of look at like, let's say if you have like a 15-minute video, try to cut it down to like half that, so like 7-8 minutes, and then, you know, go to sleep, wait 24 hours or something, and then watch the 15-minute version and the 7-minute version, and then see if the 7-minute version is lacking anything, like if it feels like you rushed it or it doesn't give the full feel of everything. Because usually, from like my personal experience doing things too, like usually the shorter version is better because you're really being picky about cutting out the things that aren't as important and refining everything to just the best parts. Because I've edited like short films and things like that, and I remember a short film I was working on, ended up being like, I think 8 minutes or something, and somebody was telling me that it was just really long and dragging, and so we just kept editing it down, and I edited like a 3-minute version that had like some like jump cuts and we're cutting things through, and watching it, the 3-minute version was way better than the 8-minute version. Even though I wanted to have like a longer video, it was too drawn out and it wasn't exciting. So I would try to take that, like if you edit it and it's like 15 minutes long, try to see if you can cut it in half and then give it like a day or so to kind of let your mind reset, and watch both and see if the shorter one's better, because it might just allow you, like I said, I know I didn't watch the whole thing because I want to watch some other stuff, but typically if you can make it shorter, it's probably going to be better because you're only going to choose the parts that you think are really good. So I would say definitely look into that and see how that feels. But I think it's definitely, you know, it's good, like the commentary and everything, and kind of like, you know, when you're showing the different games and pictures and like the time lapses and everything, I think that you definitely have like a good idea going, and especially that you have like when you're in here, like you have the text of you talking and other people talking and stuff. I think that stuff is really good, and I wish more people did that. So I think if you could do that and just kind of practice it, refine it, shorten it down, I think it'd be really good, and a lot of people would want to watch them. Reviews. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's, you know, it is kind of, yeah, half review, half gameplay, and I think that you can kind of do that. I would say, at least from the title, it feels like you'd expect it to be more of a review. So like for this one, like I would probably have sided a little more on the review side, but I know especially when you're filming it too, it's kind of hard to go back and forth and everything like that. Yeah, I would say just maybe try to do like one all gameplay, one all review, see if you like one more than the other, and then if you do a mix of both, kind of side towards one. I'm always a fan of the review stuff, but that's just me and my personal preference, so you don't have to listen to that. Also, sorry, Mr. Coffee Stuff, for not answering this. I have no idea how often these will be. I think it'd be really cool if I could do these like once a week. The only thing right now is that my work schedule is kind of sporadic. I don't really have the same days off, and I'm also going to be going on vacation in a week. So I may not be able to do it right away, but that's my goal, is to do it once a week. The only thing is that my days off aren't always the same, so it's may not be the same day all the time. But yeah, if people like it, I'd love to do it once a week or once every other week or something like that. Because I think it's fun. I think it's a cool way to, you know, to kind of interact with you guys and everything, and then just see other people's content, which I think is cool. So I think you sent one more, so I'm gonna just give the second one a quick look, and then I may actually have to go, only because it's like 1:30 and I'm super hungry and I haven't had lunch yet. There's mods. I'll see. I've been talking to one of the mods just about other stuff, so I'll see if I can talk to him and ask him about putting in the link. This one was kind of like more spur of the moment, just because I wanted to try it out and see what people thought. So I didn't, you know, like go out of my way, and I'm like, I'm not gonna push it by putting in links right away and have it moved and stuff, but I'll talk to them and see if I can put the link in the future, because yeah, I think that might be a little bit easier. Yeah, okay, so here, let me open up the second one here, and we'll give it a little look see. Oh, this one's got a lot of views. All right.
San Junipero is easily the most popular and beloved episode from this new season. Every single video, article, and comment I've seen about it have expressed nothing but praise towards it, which, I'm gonna be honest here, I found to be really surprising. Like, typically my opinion on each episode seems to line up with the general public's, but that wasn't really the case with San Junipero. I mean, I liked it, but I just didn't love it like pretty much everyone else did. Hell, it even got nominated for an Emmy. And I mean, on one hand, yay, Black Mirror got nominated, but on the other, 50 Million Mares never got nominated. Or White Christmas, so... you know, mixed feelings on that. But anyways, other than my thoughts not lining up with the general consensus, they also didn't exactly line up with most people's interpretation of this episode. The vast majority of viewers have described this episode as a radical departure
Ooh, buffering.
from the quote-unquote Black Mirror formula due to its optimistic tone and, most surprising of all, its lack of any sad or tragic ending, which has pretty much become a staple of the series. But me, on the other hand, I have a different outlook on all this. But before we get into that, let's talk plot. Today's episode is primarily a romance, a love story.
Alright, I'm gonna pause it right there, only because I just recently started watching Black Mirror, and I'm only on season 1, and I want to go through it. And so I plan to watch this eventually, so I don't want to know too much about the plot. But I still can give some stuff on the beginning stuff. I like this one, I think, more than the other one. Obviously, it's on like a current topic. And I think that if you can do these types of reviews on current topics, then that's cool, because, you know, I feel like more people would be, yeah, I don't want to get spoiled for me. I think current topics are cool because, you know, people want to look at current topics, and they want to see analysis or reviews. Like, I know whenever I go to see a movie or something, like that night or the next day, I always jump online. I'm like, what did other people think? Like, did they think what I thought? Did they have like bring some insight that I didn't know about? So I think that that's definitely a good kind of cool niche to be in. And I think you could always see, like, from the amount of views you got, like, that people wanted to see some analysis and reviews on it, and so they found your video, and here we are. So I'll kind of just review this first part because I don't want to have it spoiled for me. I think that you did a good job here. Let me play the beginning again.
San Junipero is easily the most popular and beloved episode from this new season. Every single video, article, and comment they...
Yeah, so I think that this one did a really good job with the intro of everything. You know, you got into it, you see like 7 seconds in, I already know that you are talking about Black Mirror, and you're doing an analysis. I kind of already know what people are thinking. I'm seeing some cool, was it like clippings from articles and things like that. Like, I feel like I already just got so much information in the first 7 seconds that I know exactly what this is going to be like.
About it have expressed nothing but praise towards it, which, I'm gonna be honest here, I found to be really surprising. Like, typically...
And then right there, I could already see your, like, you know, your feeling of it, and that it was only like 15 seconds in, and I already know what you're talking about. Kind of gave some backstory about how people feel about it, and then you put in your thoughts, but you didn't put in too much. You kind of give some time to explain it and everything. So I think that this is definitely a good style. So I think I might have seen this on the subreddit at some point because it looked vaguely familiar. But I think that if you kind of keep up this style and then you transfer this style over to like video games like VR chat or anything like that, I think that would be a kind of a better formula than that hybrid. And you know, like, where was it? You had like that little like anime person with like the confetti falling down, like little graphics like that, and like pausing the music to make a joke, things like that. Like, I think that was good. So yeah, I would just kind of keep up doing stuff like this, and probably the challenge would be on how fast you can make these videos. You know, like let's say, I don't know if Black Mirror is still making new episodes or something. Yeah, I think you can branch out, especially if you stay with this style and other topics, but I think you definitely have a good kind of niche going. But let's say a new episode of Black Mirror comes out. Like I said, sorry, I don't know if a new episode comes out yet. I'm super behind. It comes out on Wednesday or something, right? If you can have this analysis review out by like Thursday night or something, like 24 hours later, like if you can really jump on that. I know it's kind of hard to do, especially if it's not full time, but if you're able to do that and then you're one of the first videos that talk about it, if you do that even once or twice, I feel like it's gonna get big hits, and you know you can easily get a viral video out of it. Okay, they come out in chunks. So yeah, if you can talk about the chunk like a day or two later, I know, yeah, it's kind of weird how they do that. But yeah, the faster you can get these out and be the first person on the platform to talk about it, I think the more successful you'll be. And then, you know, if you start doing that every single time, like every time a new Black Mirror chunk comes out or whatever other, I see a lot of Black Mirror ones, but if there's anything else as well that you cover, like if you can be one of the first people's reviews out on YouTube, I think that you could definitely get a good following going, because you know, even if a lot of people click on it and you get some views, you get some subscribers, like there are people that are looking for more reviews, and this is exactly you said the main content you make. So if they see this and they like it, then you could get a pretty good following going. So I would say, you know, just all the stuff from the last one that I was talking about, you know, work on that, refining everything. And then just really trying to see how quickly you can get them out, you know, like, so like, and I would go as far as maybe making like, seeing if you could find an article saying when the next chunk of Black Mirror episodes are going to come out, and kind of start to get a video formed, like maybe get some backstory talking about it, you know, get all the ideas up, the projects up and everything, and then, you know, like watch it right when it comes out, and then just trying to like jump right into making the video, because I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing that'll define like how much you grow as a channel, is how quickly you can get them out. Because yeah, I think that this one definitely does a better job of like talking about it quicker and everything, like getting to the points faster and stuff. So yeah, I'll just work on that, try to get it as quickly as possible, and I think you could have something cool going on. So trust me, I get it. I think my channel has been up for like 3 months, and I have like 4 videos coming up or something like that. Like I'm super slow at making content, which is terrible because I have so much free time, but I just have so many other things that I do as well. But yeah, I think it's good, and I would definitely love to see like more of this stuff and see how you progress over time. I think that's just going to be probably the defining factor, because you know, I think there's a big difference between if you're in the top 5 people making these videos versus like the top 50. You know, like if you're the 4th or 5th person to put it out, a lot more people are going to see it than if you're like the 45th person to put out a video like it. Especially if there are larger channels that do the same thing. Like let's say if there's like a huge channel that does this type of review, but you get your video out somehow before they do, you just pretty much won over their whole audience, because that whole audience is expecting to go to them, and then they see this other guy, they're like, oh well, my favorite guy hasn't put it out yet, maybe I'll watch this guy's. That'd probably be my biggest thing, is, you know, look at like how you're editing it, and then just seeing like how you can make it faster, and that's, you know, kind of just depending on practice and things like that. So just kind of keep doing it, keep getting better at it, and I think it's a good concept. I think we'll grow from it. So cool. Well, that was fun. Let me make sure there's no. I don't think there's any new comments. Yeah, there's not. Okay. Wait. It says it's 3, but I only see 2. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and sending your clips. I think some of the other people left, but anybody who sees this later, because I'm going to have this up on my channel, so anybody who sees this after the fact, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. I don't think I can do it next week just because I'm going to be going on vacation. But yeah, if you put out another video, or if anybody else puts out another video, feel free to PM it to me or send it to me. I may not be able to get to it right away, and I may actually try to save it for a live stream or something. But yeah, I would love to do more stuff like this. I think it's super fun, and hopefully people like it as well. So, and I'll talk to the mods on Reddit to see if I can actually just put the link in the post, because that would make it so much easier. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, hanging out. I am going to peace out. I had to figure out how to end the stream, so thank you. I'm glad that you like the idea. So, all right. Goodbye. Stay frosty. You're all wonderful. All right. See ya.